Hi. The greatest threat to most of us as solo operator, side hustle, laptop style business, solopreneur, owner of a small company, 3, 5, 6 people, the greatest threat to most of us is the abundance of opportunity. There are so many different things that we could do that it's very easy to be distracted from what we should do. And so the 9 business model framework is a way to help someone who's choosing to be a marketing agency decide, of all the formats that marketing agency could take, which resonates, which makes sense for me as an individual. I spend a lot of time talking about what I call the 9 business model framework. What I want to be clear is I'm not talking about it because I'm so obsessed with my own perceived brilliance in the concept that constitutes the 9 business model framework. The reason I think it's important is because the greatest threat to most of us as solo operator, side hustle, laptop style business, solopreneur, owner of a small company, 3, 5, 6 people, the greatest threat to most of us is the abundance of opportunity. There are so many different things that we could do that it's very easy to be distracted from what we should do. The 9 business model framework is a way to help someone who's choosing to be a marketing agency decide, of all the formats that marketing agency could take, which resonates, which makes sense for me as an individual. The whole framework is a deliberate system to help you avoid the 2 ditches on the journey to small business success. It's not addressing the roadblocks along the way. The roadblocks that are on the path, that's business coaching, helps you understand where you are in those kinds of issues and helps you resolve those kinds of issues. The framework for 9 business models helps you avoid ditch number 1, which is the illusion of permanence. It says just because I make a decision now doesn't mean I have to stick with it forever. But if I decide to change, I need to know what I'm changing and why. I need to not get stuck in the illusion of permanence because I think that because I've committed to a business model, I have to continue in that business model. No, I'm allowed to make changes. I'm allowed to see something is different than I expected and make a different choice. But it helps us avoid the risk of jumping to something, manipulating our understanding of what path we're on and saying, well, I'm shifting to this little minor tweak in my messaging. No, you might be actually shifting entire business models. Realizing when you've crossed the line from one business model to the next allows you to say, okay, I'm about to make this shift. Is this a deliberate choice that I'm making? Or am I just flowing with the situation that's going to end up putting me in a place that I don't want to go? The more likely risk, ditch number 2, the one that gets so many of us in the small business world, is the shiny object syndrome. And we're constantly shown ideas that seem like a great idea. They seem like an easier, faster path to cash. And so we start chasing these shiny objects and we don't commit to the path we're on. So the point of the 9 business models from that perspective, so the point of the 9 business models for the illusion of permanence is once you commit to a particular business model, you don't change unless you mean to change. But you're allowed to change. You just need to know when you're making the change. From a shiny object syndrome ditch, the issue is just because somebody says something might be a great idea, often what you're actually being presented is a concept that when you're first shown something, you're first told about something, what you have this illusion that it's a lot easier because you just see the surface level hype about that thing and you don't see all of the details about how you actually implement that thing. And so what ends up happening is you have this initial excitement. Once you learn how you actually have to do it, then you get down here in this, what we call the valley of despair. You're cycling through, trying to figure out how to keep doing it and doing it and doing it when you're not very good at it. Eventually you start getting good at it, and then you can become successful and you can start scaling. But you have to go through that valley of despair first. And so the point here of the 9 business models for this perspective, and I'm trying to get my little flowers into the picture, so I'll just jump to the flowers just for a second. There we go. So there we go. There's a foxglove and a rhododendron. So the way that those 9 business models helps us avoid shiny object syndrome is once we decide which business model we're in, it allows us to ignore hype that's outside of the things that we need to know for the business model we're choosing to be in. Now, we can choose to not be stuck in that business model. We can choose to follow the hype out of it, but we need to understand that that's going to put us back into this valley of despair cycle of learning process. And you're allowed to choose. This is your life. You get to choose your life. You're allowed to choose that option. The question is, should you choose that option, given that you've already chosen a business model? The short version of the 9 business models, just since I'm talking about this, and I'll talk about it in terms of shiny object syndrome and illusion of permanence. Business model 1, so business model 0 is those of us who use HighLevel in our business. We use it to run our businesses. And if you are one of these other 9 business models using HighLevel for your business, then you certainly should be eating your own dog food. You should be using HighLevel in your business. But what a business model 0 in this framework is someone who has HighLevel, that they use HighLevel to run their business. And whether they're a marketing agency of one of these 9 business models, or whether they're just a small business who uses HighLevel, that's business model 0. Business model 1 is the pure affiliate. So the pure affiliate is the idea that HighLevel doesn't have a sales team. HighLevel offers affiliate commissions to people who recruit other people to sign up for a subscription to HighLevel. And how this works for you as an affiliate is if you have an audience that you're just talking to about whatever you talk to them about, and then you take the opportunity to say, oh, by the way, I use HighLevel to run my business, and I think it's really great, and I suggest you should try it out. And if someone signs up for HighLevel, you get a commission off for that subscription. That's the pure affiliate model. And just because the illusion of permanence, just because you choose to be in the pure affiliate model, doesn't mean you can't also slide over to the value-added affiliate. It doesn't mean you can't shift to offering a SaaS product or do marketing agency services. Thus, it's not permanent. You can choose to not stay in a pure affiliate business model for forever. And there's foxglove, and there's the U.S. Army flag and the U.S. flag on Flag Day. So there you go. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. 250 years of defending people's right to not agree. And I'll skip the political pitch for now because I'm going on to, so that's the reason, the way that value added, the pure affiliate helps you avoid the illusion of permanence. The pure affiliate model of allowing you to avoid shiny object syndrome is, although you can, because you're trying to hype HighLevel and convince people to use HighLevel, doesn't mean you have to dig really deep in developing snapshots and building your own workflows and testing every piece of new feature release that comes out. You just need to be able to understand, yeah, there's a new feature that does such and such. But you don't need to spend a lot of time learning the ins and outs of that particular feature. Thus, knowing that you're in the pure affiliate model allows you to avoid the shiny object syndrome of chasing features. The value-added affiliate is the person who their primary monetization is still those affiliate commissions. So they're teaching people about HighLevel. And that's the fundamental difference between value-added affiliate and pure affiliate. Pure affiliate, their message to their audience is about whatever their message is. And then their offer is, oh, by the way, sign up for my affiliate link. With the value-added affiliate, they're talking about HighLevel or talking about some kind of business software. Business software is the subject area that they're talking about. They then use HighLevel as their topic and as their product, but they're not selling their own software as a service, customized version of HighLevel. They're selling directly the HighLevel subscription. Okay, so that's the pure affiliate and the value-added affiliate. And the value-added affiliate, the way it helps you avoid the illusion of permanence is if you realize as you're going down this path that you're really good at helping people develop a customized version of HighLevel, or you have, in the course of talking to a particular niche audience, you've developed a application, a set of tools that you can snapshot and you can customize, you can tailor to that particular industry. Maybe suddenly you realize you're better off offering that as your own customized software as a service. Or maybe the software as a service is an upsell. So you're initially marketing as, I'm a value-added affiliate. Here's my subscription. Go have fun with HighLevel. I'm going to tell you all about it. And oh, by the way, if you start having trouble with it, I also have for that niche, I have a software as a service that is a higher price, but it solves a specific problem that you're going to run into problems if you're trying to do it yourself. So that the solution of permanence is just because you're the value-added affiliate, you have to stay in the value-added affiliate mode. No, you might very well shift to a SaaS mode, or you might end up realizing that you're really good at providing actual marketing assets, and you might shift to what I call business model 6, the marketing agency. The way value-added affiliate helps you avoid shiny object syndrome is it allows you to choose to not do those things. It allows you to say, no, I'm in this affiliate marketing model. I'm not doing work for people. I'm not developing marketing assets for people. That's not what I do. What I do is teach them about the platform and encourage them to adopt the platform. Totally appropriate. And that's how you avoid the shiny object syndrome. You avoid chasing dollars and losing the momentum on building your audience. SaaS and SwaS, business model 3 and business model 4. Software as a service, software with a service. The fundamental difference between software as a service and software with a service, in the bottom line, the fundamental difference between the two is that software with a service includes some kind of done with you or done for you marketing services in addition to the software. In both cases, the service is servicing the software, making sure that the software is functional, that the customer, the business model 0 user of the software, subscriber to the software, your white label version of the software, onboarded, adopted, customized, integrated with the way they do operations. That's the service. Maintaining it, making adaptations to it over time to better match the way the business wants to operate. That's the service part. The pure software as a service, business model 3, is here's my core software. You do marketing with my software. Software with a service says, here's my software. Here's my operating system. You do marketing with my software, but I'm also going to come alongside you and I'm going to help you do marketing with the software. That's the with a service part of software with a service. Software as a service allows you to avoid the illusion of permanence by saying, you know what, if I'm working down this path and I realize that people aren't actually using it, they're signing up for it, they're subscribing to it, and then they're not implementing it, you don't have to continue to be a pure SaaS model. You can slide over to the SwaS model. You can start coming alongside them and helping them do marketing activities. Or you could slide to business model 5, what I call the marketing partner, which you actually act as if you're the outsourced marketing department. You do most of the marketing activities on behalf of the client. And just the way you interact with that client is via the software. The SaaS mode allows you to avoid shiny object syndrome, because it allows you to say, if someone starts talking to you about doing with a service kind of thing, or doing marketing activities on their behalf, and you don't want to be in that business, you can just say, you know what, let me refer you to somebody who does marketing agency services. You keep using the software, but I'm going to introduce you to somebody who can help you with whatever email marketing or web design or building your webinar funnel, because I'm providing you the software, but I'm not providing you with a service. Software with a service allows you to avoid the illusion of permanence, because as you go along, you suddenly realize that people aren't using your unique service the way you expected them to. You can slide back over to what would be more of a SaaS mode. You can just say, you know what, instead of using this customized service that I thought was useful, that's not really as useful as I thought it was, why don't you just use the software and you do your own marketing? Or again, you might slide into more of a marketing agency role, where you start saying, you know, you weren't using it the way I thought you would. Let me do this other thing for you. It allows you to avoid the shiny object syndrome, because if they're saying, well, I want you to customize this SaaS to be in a different niche, and it's not the niche that you're serving, it's not the niche that your with a service is going to be helpful to, you can just simply say, no, let me introduce you to somebody, pass it off as a referral. If someone is in your software subscription, SaaS or SwaS, and you realize that you have a confrontational relationship with them, or it's not a mutually beneficial relationship, in both cases, you can say, you know what, let me just refer you to HighLevel itself. Let me give you a agency level subscription directly to HighLevel, and I'll act more as an affiliate or a value-added affiliate. In that case, probably you would effectively be a value-added affiliate. You're not permanently locked into being SwaS model just because your business model is SwaS. So, business model 5 and business model 6. Business model 5 is the marketing partner. Business model 6 is the marketing agency. The difference is a little bit subtle, but it's significant for the purpose of this discussion. It's significant for the purpose of understanding how the subtle difference helps you frame in your mind the conversations you're having with your client. So the marketing partner is the idea that you're an outsourced marketing department. You're acting in an integrated manner. In fact, many times you not only are doing marketing, you're often a sales department. These business models are often the ones that are pay for results models, where it's actually paying for appointments or paying for closed sales, as opposed to paying for marketing activities. One of the very clear differences when you're in business model 5 versus when you're in business model 6. Business model 6 is more of an arm's distance relationship. You're doing the traditional marketing agencies. You're a media buyer, you're a social media marketing agency, you're an email marketing copywriter, you're a social media, you're an SEO agency, you're a web designer, web developer, and you're doing the marketing thing, and the customer, the end user, may not even be a business model 0. They may not be a user of HighLevel. They're just your client. They are your client in this framework. If you're in business model 5, you avoid the illusion of permanence. So you're probably doing all the marketing agency kinds of things. But if suddenly someone starts asking you to grow this great big huge audience, or trying to scale beyond the amount of capacity you currently have. Instead of being a business model 5 agency with all of those clients, maybe with many of those clients you follow the affiliate model. You don't have to permanently be stuck in having all of your clients be business model 5 marketing partner relationships. You can have variations. You can have someone that's more of a SaaS client. You can have someone that's more of a SwaS client. You do some marketing activities, but you're not tightly wedded to the operational activities of the client company. Similarly, it allows you, if you're in business model 5, it allows you to avoid the shiny object syndrome. Just because HighLevel launches a new feature doesn't mean you need to go learn everything about that new feature if your clients don't need or use the functionality of that feature. So if your clients are roofing companies, they probably don't need the quiz feature. It's very unlikely that they need the webinar feature. Do those features exist? Are those valuable features? Sure, but maybe not for your clients. So it allows you to avoid the shiny object syndrome of trying to understand the nuances of those features. If your client companies are roofing companies, they probably don't have an e-commerce store. You don't need to understand the e-commerce function. The illusion of permanence and the shiny object syndrome are very similar for the pure marketing agency, where you don't have to have all of your relationships be pure marketing agency. If someone says, hey, I just need a subscription to HighLevel, I want to do my own marketing, you can say, here, I'll act as an affiliate. Here's my link. Have fun. If you need some help, some coaching, I'll be a business model 7, which I'll get to in a minute, but you're on your own, effectively on your own. The shiny object syndrome, if you're a marketing agency and people start asking you, how do I use HighLevel to do this? How do I use HighLevel to do that? How do I use HighLevel to do the other thing? You can refer them to someone who does technical stuff. Because if you're not developing snapshots, if you're not developing workflows, you're using those for your own operations, you shouldn't suddenly let someone suck you into being a snapshot developer. If you're a web developer, they're similar skill sets, but they're very different. And if you're really good at one, you're probably not really good at the other. You might be reasonably good at both, but the likelihood you're really good at both is pretty low. Business model 7, I said a second ago I was going to get to it. So business model 7 are coaches, advisors, trainers. Their deliverable is often more vague. It might be a consultation, a marketing plan. So the product is strategy. The deliverable is a marketing plan. It's not a set of media assets. It's not a set of social media templates. The way business model 7 helps you avoid the illusion of permanence is if someone starts talking about, well, can I have you actually just build this for me? Yeah, you can slide into a business model 8 business if you want to. You don't have to stay in a pure coaching mode. And honestly, I don't know anyone that is in a pure high-level coaching business model. They're all in one of these other business models, and they also do coaching as part of one of their business models. The way it helps you avoid the shiny object syndrome is if that's your primary business model, and someone starts asking you to start building assets, you can say, well, that's not my primary business. Let me introduce you to someone who it is. Business model 8. Business model 8 is the support agencies. These are the people who do build snapshots. These are the people who do build out customized instances of HighLevel. These are the people who do white label onboarding for other agencies. These are people who provide technical support to their clients for other agencies. One of the challenges for business models 3, 4, 5, and to a lesser extent 6 is if it's a very small team, 1, 2, 3 people, often they don't have the technical skills and or sufficient capacity for 24-hour troubleshooting technical support for the end user client. Well, these business model 8 agencies, their primary business is providing support. Instead of serving the end user customer directly, they operate as an arm of the business model 3, 4, 5, and to a lesser extent 6. Knowing that you're in business model 8 allows you to avoid the illusion of permanence in. Just because I'm primarily helping other agencies serve clients doesn't mean I can't have some clients of my own. In fact, I probably should, because that helps me understand what the kinds of problems that clients are likely to have. It doesn't mean I can't have some people signed up for under my affiliate link as sponsored subscriptions to HighLevel. It avoids the shiny object syndrome of chasing shiny objects. If you know you're a technical support person and people suddenly start asking you to build websites and you're going like, you in the sentence is this dude, this bald character that's talking to you. I don't build websites. That's not my strength. I can actually do some technical SEO stuff on the backside, but building the public-facing part of the website with the marketing creatives, that's not my strong suit. You would be better off hiring a Business Model 6 marketing agency to build the website for you, a web design agency to build the website for you, and then I'll provide technical support on an ongoing basis. Another way that helps you avoid shiny object syndrome is if you're providing technical support for people who have a particular snapshot. Again, just because HighLevel launches a feature doesn't mean you need to suddenly become an expert in that feature, because that feature isn't included in the snapshots that you're supporting, in the needs of the clients that you're supporting. Then you don't need to suddenly adopt that feature into your business model. And finally, Business Model 9. Business Model 9 are the developers, people who are doing code level software development. They're building apps that go in the app marketplace. HighLevel does some very great, very amazing things, but there are some gaps in the way it does it. And so some of these apps are solutions, integrations, solve the gaps inside the existing HighLevel platform as it exists today. And some of those apps or additional code or integrations are expansions of the capability of HighLevel to allow it to do something that isn't native to the HighLevel platform. Knowing that you're in Business Model 9 helps you avoid the illusion of permanence. Is just because you're a technical developer doesn't mean you can't develop websites. It just means that might not be the best use of your time. Just like for me, it's not the best use of my time to help somebody build a website because I'm more of a support guy. That doesn't mean in your case you couldn't also do the public facing part of the website as you're building the application that runs inside the environment of the website. If you're developing apps for HighLevel, then you probably have your affiliate link, and you probably should be encouraging people to sign up to HighLevel because that expands your user base. So you should be part of your MRR, monthly recurring revenue that you're building, is getting people to sign up to the platform so that they'll use your app out of the app marketplace. The way knowing that you're in Business Model 9 helps you avoid the shiny object syndrome is if someone says, hey, I want you to build custom SaaS for this particular niche, but it's a really narrow niche, and it's so you're going to spend a lot of time developing this niche snapshot that probably already exists. Someone else already has it, and your dollar return isn't going to be as strong as if you're as the app that you're already working on that has broader applicability, and you might get smaller margins, smaller initial payments on that app, but you have this big, huge, broad app user base that allows you to get larger gross income over time. Knowing that your value is in writing code that a lot of these marketing agencies, this bald guy included, don't do, means you have the technical skills that allows you to do things that these other 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and even 8 can't or won't do. All right, so there is all 9 business models and how each one helps you avoid the twin ditches of the illusion of permanence and the shiny object syndrome. Allows you to stay on the path that you've chosen that makes sense for you as a personality. How do you know which makes sense? Well, most of my trainings revolve around that, and so you should be able to figure it out for yourself. But absolutely, as part of my Business Model 7, coach, advisor, mentor, teacher, I would gladly have a conversation with you and talk through some of this is what I bring to the table. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm not so good at, but I want to learn. This is what I'm good at, I'm not so good at, and I'm not even interested in learning. And we can use that to help decide Which of these 9 business models makes sense for you? I'm Keith Beshears. I'm the Bald Guy. I help small businesses with marketing, theory, tactics, techniques, training, and technology.